About a third of homes right here in San Diego County have seen a price cut. For home sellers, should they start being worried? For home buyers, are there opportunities out there? That's what we're going to get into this video. I'm Chris Erickson, and as always, we got a real estate crew right here in San Diego. If you're thinking about making a move, you got some questions, all of our info is right down below. Feel free to reach out, but let's get into it. All right, so up on the screen, we have San Diego, the city of San Diego, coming in at 32.4% of homes with price drops, up 7.3% year over year. It's not the whole story. There's a few other things we got to get into, but you can see how it tracked through the year, came down in December. We had another little pop in last October. But how does this compare long-term? That's what we'll get into. But first, we're going to just compare it to a few different areas. San Diego, let's just hop into Encinitas, see where we are there. You can see it's a little bit higher for Encinitas. We're sitting almost at 43%. How about Chula Vista? See where that's coming in at. Coming in just shy of 37%. Going over to Poway, see what comes up just at 1/3. And compared to the United States, sitting only at 19.5%. You can see we're well above that. And so that just goes to show you that, as we always say on this channel, every city is going to be different. Every neighborhood is going to be different. Every situation is going to be different. So as you're going through this process, as you're thinking about it, these numbers are good as they're showing trends, what's happening in the market. They're going to show you, are we going higher? Are we going lower? Is this normal? But that's what I'm going to jump into right now, is to let you know, is this normal? So right here, we could see we're sitting, this is all of San Diego County, all into one bunch. So properties with a price decrease, we're right near that 32% mark. All these little dots are the previous years right at this time. So July 21st of 2023, sitting just shy of 23%. Right here in 2022, we nearly peaked out as we came up to that 40% mark. And as you can see, this is the time that we had very few properties with price decreases. This is the time when homes were going super quick. This is the times when there was a ton of competition. This is when interest rates were a little bit low until right about here. Boom, as interest rates started to rise back in 2022, you can see price decreases started to rise as well. But if we go back even to a normalized year, I always call 2019 a normal year. It's a time in the market when it was a little bit more normal. It was still a seller's market, as it is a lot of times right here in San Diego, but we had more homes on the market. We had more inventory. The scale of buyers to sellers was a little more even. So there was enough demand to keep prices where they were, but we weren't seeing a crazy market as we had seen over these past few years. So even this time in 2019, it was actually a little bit higher. It was almost at 34% of homes on the market had price decreases. So as you can see here, it's not really out of the norm. I would say out of the norm is kind of this time when you saw less than 10% of homes did have a price decrease. So for home sellers, a few other things that you got to keep an eye on. Okay, yes, a third of homes have a price drop. But if we hop over here, 45% of homes have still sold above list price. Now that's down from last year. It was a higher percentage last year. So the trend is changing. And as you can see over here, every market's a little bit different. Jumping into San Diego here was at 45%. The US is sitting at 35%. Encinitas does have 26%. So all this we're going over, as with city to city and area to area, you can see Encinitas is kind of one of the softer markets with more price reductions and less homes going over list price. But then you get into Chula Vista, nearly 61% of homes going over list price and half of the homes in Poway going over list price. And then going back up to sales to list price. How much over the asking price are homes going for? How much under asking price are homes going for? Now, during certain times when the market was a bit more hectic, this number was getting into the 105%, 106% range. Obviously, we're sitting just over 100% right now. This is for the city of San Diego, but it's telling you that there are still enough home buyers out there to meet the demand of sellers out there. Now, some of the ones that have had price reductions, maybe the homes were initially priced a little bit too high. Maybe it's on a main road. Maybe there's some other things going on with the house where a few years ago, there was enough buyers to fill that demand. Right now, some of those homes are sitting a little longer, are having to have price reductions, but really well-priced homes in great areas are still getting multiple offers. Now, with the past few buyers that we've been working with, there has been multiple offers on most of the properties, but it's not really multiple offer situations where they're going 50, 100, $150,000 over list price. We're seeing them come right around that list price, still with competitive terms. Now, sometimes I think within the past few months, we might have written one offer with an appraisal waiver. They were coming in with enough down. It wasn't really going to affect our loan. But other than that, all of the homes that we've been writing offers on have had all their contingencies as far as inspections, as far as loan, as far as appraisal. Just everything has been in there. And we're still helping clients get into homes with all those contingencies in place, even though there are other offers on the table. And all this data is on Redfin. If you guys could hop on here too and jump in and explore and figure out your different areas. And then if you have more questions, dive in. Feel free to reach out to us. And now let's touch on buyers. I know I've mentioned it a little bit as far as what's going on out there, but let me give you an example of some buyers we are recently working with. So we have clients searching around. Price point is somewhere between 1.2 to 1.5. And within this last week, we got to show them 4 homes. And even that in the recent past, seeing 4 homes in the same week in your search criteria is not necessarily unheard of, but it was a little bit more rare. So just even that, you can see there's a few more homes coming on the market. But here's how it broke down. The first home that we did see, it had been on the market for a little bit. I believe there had been a price reduction on it already, and it was in a really good area. One of the downfalls, it was near a main road. So that was part of the reason it had been sitting a little bit. Second home we saw was in an awesome spot as well. Fantastic location. The house had a few other things that weren't ideal. I was chatting with the agent there. They were actually going to reduce that home by $100,000. The people had already moved out. There was nothing in there. It was vacant. They obviously wanted to sell. So they were going to do it. Our clients did not write an offer on that. The next house we saw had been on the market for a week. It was a flipped property, meaning somebody bought it, came in, fixed it all up, really nice property. And there were 2 other properties within this neighborhood earlier this year that came on basically at the same list price, that were both flips as well. They held open houses the first weekend. They held open houses the second weekend. We were chatting with the agent. At that point, they still had no offers on the house. The 4th house they saw was on the market for just about a month. The agent kept continuously holding open houses. But by the time our clients did write an offer, there was 2 other offers in. Now our clients ended up getting the home, super clean offer. They wrote it up to be accepted by the sellers, meaning including everything that the sellers wanted, including a great price, great terms, all that other kind of stuff. And so as a buyer out there are definitely opportunities, and I expect more opportunities to come as we go towards the latter part of the year. And when I say opportunities, I don't necessarily mean you're going to get the house for $100,000 off list, or you get super lowball offers and get your offer accepted. It is still a competitive market, but definitely not in the frenzy that we did see a few years ago. If you guys are thinking about making a move though, and you want to chat about your specific area, your specific needs, as always, I'm Chris Erickson. We got a real estate crew right here in San Diego, and we got your back when making the move here in San Diego.